NC Pork, raising the bacon, raising the bar.
All right, we are now ready to begin the Duke press conference. I'd like to ask you once again to make certain your phones are muted. Coach, could you please give us an opening statement?
Well, I thought it was a workmanlike performance by our team. Anytime you only have 2 turnovers in a game, that's pretty good. But I just thought that these guys were incredibly mature without necessarily even playing in the NCAA tournament, besides Tyrese and Mason. Proud of the performance. We have to move on very quickly, but really good to get our feet wet and understand what the tournament is all about.
Okay, at this time, we're going to open the floor up for questions for the student athletes. All right, let's go to the front row here, and then we'll get you.
Brett Friedlander, Saturday Down South. Cooper, you had early in that game a fast break opportunity. You got the basket, came down. Was that kind of a, okay, yeah, I'm all right kind of moment?
I think what I would say is I've done a great job with the medical staff of preparing and just being ready. So, I already felt completely 100% and confident going into tonight's game.
Okay, we're going to go here on the corner, then back there, then you.
Royal Hall, the Juice Network. Tyrese, I believe this might have been the best assist-turnover ratio amongst the backcourt as a collective, 21 assists to 2 turnovers for the entire backcourt, including Cooper. What was just your assessment on just that backcourt tonight?
Yeah, I thought we were great. I thought we were poised, controlled the tempo of the game, and just read what the defense gave us. And I think we played our best basketball when we all move the ball and get great looks.
Okay, we're going to go there, there, and there.
Questions for Tyrese. Tyrese, when you have that kind of night from behind the arc, how much confidence does that give you moving forward?
Yeah, a lot of confidence. Obviously shot the ball pretty well tonight, and just got to continue doing that moving forward.
Okay, Jaden, yellow shirt, and then on the edge.
Jeff Fedotin with Forbes, kind of a lighthearted question here for Tyrese. Cooper's had this cool Gatorade ad kind of playing throughout the March Madness. I wonder if you've seen it and what you thought of it.
Is it the bingo one? Which one?
No, that's the AT&T. He's in it with Paige and Juju.
I've probably seen it, yeah. It's cool.
Fair enough. Thanks.
All right, just hand it over there to the edge.
Cooper, Mike DeCourcy from the Sporting News. When did you start to feel like there was no doubt that you would go today? What was the breakthrough for you?
I think honestly for me, after watching the whole ACC tournament, and then it was more of just like a plan to just be ready for this game, and we just put a plan in place. We have phases, a strategy of just getting back, getting prepared, and being ready. So we just followed a step by step. I worked with our medical team really well. They did a great job of just getting me ready.
Okay, Cooper, if you can get on the edge there, and then Jaden, you're going to go all the way to the back.
John, about 22 minutes for Cooper. Got to do probably a little bit of everything. Is this sort of the ideal way?
I'm sorry, but we need to do questions for the student athletes.
I'll ask Cooper, was this basically about the ideal way that this could have played out for you in terms of getting on the court, getting some, getting a sweat in and playing, but not, having to go like 40 minutes of intense basketball?
I thought we kind of just came out, executed our game plan, did what we were trying to do. We didn't take them lightly. We came out, we executed, and we just jumped out to it. But, yeah, I think it was great execution by us.
Okay. Way in the back.
Sam Callahan, the Daily Campus. Cooper, to your Montfort Academy teammates here in Raleigh, including one you're facing tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, Sunday at some point. Just a reaction to that, and just have you talked to Liam or Rob about just kind of being in the same areas this weekend?
I wouldn't say I've talked to them specifically about it. I think as soon as the selection show happened, I kind of maybe talked to them a little bit, but nothing past that. I saw Rob yesterday leaving the gym, kind of just walked by him, but it's just a cool experience, being in this environment, in this setting, having played together last year, so it's just really cool.
Cooper on the second row.
Tyrese, have you thought at all about the way last season ended, not getting any points against NC State at the end of the tournament, going into this one? How have you used that as fuel? Have you used that as confidence in your shot? Has that really been on your mind or not really?
I think as soon as that game ended, it was on my mind. It's the reason I came back, and I think going into this game, just wanted to play at a high level, and that comes with scoring, that comes with sharing the ball and stuff like that. But I think, it did fuel me. It fueled our team as a whole. It's the, first meeting at the start of the year. We talked about it, and I thought we just played a great game tonight.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, gentlemen, you're excused. Thank you very much. Congratulations. All right, at this time, we'll open it up for Coach. Do you want to go with your question?
Hey, John. I'm just curious if this was sort of the ideal plan for you to get Cooper back in there and get him comfortable, or if you would have been comfortable if he had to play a little more than he did.
We were ready for him to play more, but I think the way it worked out obviously was really good. But we were prepared for him to play as many minutes as he needed to. Our guys did a great job. Even as he was coming back with his ankle, he was in the pool a lot, underwater treadmill, just making sure his shape was still there. And frankly, it's only been 8 days, so I think for him, it's not like he's lost a ton of shape.
Okay, Jaden, can you get Aaron on the edge, and then we need to go front row here.
Yep. Aaron Beard with AP. John, how did you what were you looking for in terms of managing his minutes? I mean, you said you were prepared for him to play more, but I would imagine even if you're confident, you're not seeing him compensate. I would imagine you're still watching carefully. Was there anything you were looking for, I guess, in that regard of how you would handle his minutes and how he was reacting to his first action?
The biggest thing for me was, him not pacing. I didn't want him to pace. And then obviously making sure he was moving, where he wasn't, off balance or favoring one leg or the other. But we had already addressed that before this game, so that wasn't a big concern. I was just making sure he wasn't pacing. And obviously, able to give him a few extra minutes, I'm sure that's only helpful for Sunday. So as it got down in the second half, my thing was to try and limit his minutes as much as possible.
Okay. Front row here, then there, and then there.
Royal Howell, the Juice Network. Coach, you forced 11 turnovers, only gave up 10 assists in this ball game. What is your main assessment of defense today? And then once you get ready for Baylor on Sunday, I know once you look at film after press conferences, what would be your main assessment on getting ready for Baylor?
Well, I can't tell you that yet. I would rather watch them to be able to, be informed about what the biggest thing we have to do is. I thought our defense was pretty good tonight. I think there's some breakdowns we have to clear up and make sure we're better at. But I thought the effort was there. The rebounding was okay. I thought we were good. I thought we were solid. And especially for our first game in the tournament, it feels different. It just does. And so, to experience that and to give really good effort and to have that killer instinct to come out, I think that's the biggest thing I took away.
Okay. Jaden, yellow shirt, and then Coop, third row.
Slightly more serious question this time. Coach, you had the challenge of, with a play-in game, you had to prepare for an extra team, 2 teams, and you've just lost Coach Lucas. Can you talk about that challenge? And was there somebody on staff who had to kind of step up and do an extra scout because of the extra game and Coach leaving?
Look, Jay obviously has been important for us, but the way the tournament works is pretty seamless. We had Chris and Emmanuel have been really hands-on with all of our scouts, and so, I hated not knowing who we're going to play. I was anxious to find out. I think that was the worst part. But the coaches have it all covered. Our support staff does an incredible job already. Our video team, the other coaches on staff. So the fact you're only playing 2 games, we just got through a week. We played 3 in 3 days, and the opponents, it could have been, 8 different opponents in that time. So this is simple for us. And our staff has done an incredible job to get us prepared.
Okay, we're going to go third row here, and then Jaden, third row here on the edge.
Hey, Coach. As you get ready for a team kind of on short notice, Jeremy Roach, that element of it, he's familiar with you, you're familiar with him. How does that affect your prep, and what are you expecting from Jeremy?
Well, look, obviously, I love Jeremy, and, I coached him for 4 years, 2 as an assistant, 2 as a head coach, and he's given Duke everything that he has. And so, I'm not going to I know Jeremy, and he knows me and us. We're not going to make this about that. You're playing the NCAA tournament, and this should be about Duke and Baylor. But at the end of the day, obviously, Jeremy's been an important guy for our program with what he's done, and he's done a really good job this year. But this game for us on Sunday is going to be about what we have to do to beat Baylor, and I'm sure it's the same for Jeremy and their team in their minds.
All right, Jaden, third row.
John, Mike DeCourcy from the Sporting News. If if as long as Cooper was cleared, was there any question that he would go tonight?
No. I mean, look, for me, and I've been on many sides of this in my playing days, coaching days. You don't take any game for granted. So I think it's very easy to say, yeah, you should just rest. Well, you want to have your best team, and you're not promised the next game. But I think just as important was the fact of him playing, and he has. I didn't think he looked like it, but you have some natural rust. You have just a game experience. I think is really important to understand what the tournament is like. So for me, there wasn't a question. I know for him, there wasn't a question. But at the same time, we weren't going to risk anything either. But when we knew he was ready, he was going to go.
Okay, Jaden, if you could go back 2 rows right there, and this will be the last question we have time for.
Coach, one much shorter than the other, but 2 quick questions. One, Kahn looked like he tweaked something maybe in today's game. Is he all right? He was getting some
good.
Work on the bench.
He's good.
Gotcha. Second was Spencer Hubbard getting a lot of applause at the end of the game, kind of carrying the ball up. How cool is it to get those kind of moments in this tournament?
Well, it's awesome. Spencer's given us 5 years. The rest of us are jealous. We wish you guys cheered for us as loud as Spencer gets an applause. But besides that, I think it's an awesome thing.
NC Pork, good for the plate, great for the state.